Hello everyone, welcome to Serious Trivia. Today we'll be looking at Total War Three Kingdoms and talking about how beautiful the game design is. We're not talking about visually or graphically how great the game design is, but after having spent some time playing the game, actually hundreds of hours playing the game, I've decided to appreciate a lot of the small details that the designers put into the game in terms of historical and cultural and lore. And something that's a common element in this game is something called 五行, 五行, or translated as the Five Elements, is a Chinese philosophical belief similar to the four elements in the Greek culture, where they had earth, air, fire, and water. The Chinese believed they were five elements, but the exact translation of the word 五行, 五 meaning five, 行 meaning motion or change here, it describes ever-changing state from one element into another. It's more philosophical than scientific, and the game here in Total War Three Kingdom really used that to implement across the board. You'll find reflections of this philosophy throughout the game. For example, most basic, when we open up a character, here we have Sun Jian. First thing you notice is that in his stat are five elements that's represented from 五行, where you have 金木水火土, or metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. All these elements are translated to say 金, the character would directly translate to gold. But technically, from a philosophical point of view, it means all metal. Wood, mu means wood. It would represent all plants, or all thing that grows from the earth. Shui, meaning water, represent generally all things in liquid form. It doesn't have to be water. Molten metal is considered shui. Fire, it's self-explanatory, it's just fire. And earth, here the character directly translated would actually just mean dirt or soil, represents earth as an element. Here they're reflected in every character's stat, and they're color-coded in the game so that it's easier for us to understand them. And each character has a unique class, and there are 5 class total in the game. Sun Jian here is a sentinel, which is purple, so his guiding stat is expertise, or jin. And then there's a corresponding character class for each of the elements. For Mu, you have the champion. For Shui, or water, you have strategist. For Huo, or fire, you have vanguards. For Tu, or earth, you have commanders. Aside from this connection, the game goes actually much farther. Beyond having just character class and stats, the game brings this idea into their tech tree or reform tree, where you have the same color code, where water is blue. It deals with philosophy and trade, or in the game described, I think, market and learning. You have Jin representing economy and industry, which makes sense for metal. You have earth, or Tu, representing government reform. You have fire, or Huo, representing the military. And you have wood, or Mu, representing agriculture, population growth, and people. And the Chinese belief of 五行 have something what they call 相生相克. It's two ideas. 相生 meaning one element will give birth to another or transform into another. Because remember now, the direct translation of saying 5 element or 五行, it means 5 states that are constantly in change. So 相生 meaning from one element giving birth to another element or changing into another element. 相克 meaning how one element counters or defeats another element. So how did this work? So for 相生 or transforming or birthing into another element, you have water giving birth to wood. If you think about it, you water the earth and trees grow out of it. Makes sense. And from wood, give birth to fire. From fire, you give birth to earth. Because after you burn through the wood, you have left is ash and soil. And from earth, you give birth to metal. It means there are metal wars deep beneath the earth. And from metal, you give birth to liquid. Now here, it's translated as water, but it covers all liquid states. So molten metal, the idea of giving birth to liquid comes from there. And cycles back to water give birth to wood. Cycles continuously through the 5 element, reflecting the change of earth itself. And 相克, or what counters what? Metal counters wood, meaning metal tools cut wood. And wood counters earth because it absorbs the nutrients from the earth and grows from the earth. And earth counters water because I think this plays the fact that Chinese culture originated from a river delta culture from like a lot of early civilizations, and they used irrigation. So in their mind, to control floods and water flows, you used earth. And water counters fire. And finally, fire counters metal by burning the metal or melts the metal down into water. So in that cycles, the metal goes back to countering wood. So it's 2 complete cycles of 相生相克. And the game even reflects this, which I find amazing. So if we just pop open a town and we check out the buildings, you notice how we talk about building synergies in the game, where if we take an economic building, say the private workshop, or any building in the economic tree, or the purple metal tree, it gives a 10% discount to learning and market buildings. And learning and market buildings are the blue buildings. Blue buildings are water. So metal gives birth to water, 相生, and water gives birth to wood. So what does market buildings give discount to? Agricultural buildings, which are wood. And wood give birth to fire. So all agricultural buildings give discounts to military buildings. And military buildings, fire, gives birth to earth. They give discounts to government buildings. And government building cycles right back to metal or economic buildings. I just find this design mind-blowing. To not only make the design synergy apply for people who like to play min-max and try to get the best build for a city, but to also incorporate ancient Chinese philosophy into it is just superb. And I just wanted to make a video to tell the world, and for you guys to enjoy the game more, to get more immersed in the lore. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed that video, please subscribe or comment below, I hope to continue to make more short videos covering different elements of the game, as well as dropping a let's play and guide for Liu Bei starting next week. So please keep an eye out for that. This is Serious Trivia. Thanks for watching. See you next time.